In this video, we're going to explore the 5 features in Lumion that's going to change your business. My name is Katarina, I'm a garden designer, and I see you next. So welcome to another video from Garden Design Tools, and in this video we're going to talk about 5 features of Lumion that makes the program amazing as for a garden designer or landscape architect, or anyone that is designing a project, a garden project. I always talk just more focus on the outdoors. I always add architecture elements to my projects, into my images, but I mainly talk about the outdoors because that's my area. Okay, so first feature, it's ease of use. So if you're already working with SketchUp, I think most everyone is. SketchUp is a great tool, ease of use as well. It can get more complex with other extensions, but SketchUp is the tool, and because of its price as well, is mainly the tool that everyone starts with when you're working with design. So in Lumion, it's really easy to integrate any project, any model of SketchUp in Lumion. Okay, and you have a live sync extension. So not only it synchronizes the models, as you can see here, you can quickly add and change the model in SketchUp. That will change automatically in Lumion. So that's number one, ease of use. Number two, plant and texture library, plant and material library. Okay, so let's just quickly show you a bit of the plant. Not only it has a lot of other items on the library, but the vegetation, I think, is the first one that makes Lumion really great for garden designers and landscape architects. Okay, so you have a vast library of plant material. As a garden designer, I would love for them to add a bit more plants. Sorry, this is getting a bit slow. But you have quite a lot of trees, and some of species of trees in different stages, so younger ones. I would love for them to add a bit more plants, more herbaceous plants. But you know, every time they do a new update, they're adding new plants, so that's pretty cool. So we talk about plants in other videos, but I just wanted to show you. So definitely the plants library and the material, I'm going to show you here, the material possibilities to add to your model are amazing inside Lumion. Okay, so that's the number two feature that I think makes Lumion really great for garden designers and landscape architects, is the material and the plant libraries. Okay, and it's amazing not only what they have already, but what you can add, and that's number 3. In Lumion, you not only have a vast library already inside, as you can add models, you can add materials, you can add models from the 3D warehouse, you can definitely add more plants from the 3D warehouse, that they are free. The only thing I really want to say is that every time you add plants, for example, as you can see here, and if you're doing animations, the plants that you have inside the Lumion library, they move with the wind. Okay, so as you can see here, if you're a bit static, and especially when you're talking about grasses, as you can see, they are moving a little bit, and you can, in an animation, that's quite important, especially if you have a lot of grasses in your project. But like you see here, okay, this plant is from the 3D warehouse, so they are static. Okay, really good quality, it renders really well, but if you're doing an animation, I always say don't import grasses. all other type of plants, I think it's okay. And you can definitely go around a little bit. If you put them together with grasses, you're not going to notice so much when you're doing an animation. But that's just a little point. But definitely the third feature is the possibility of adding all the plants, all the models you want from the 3D warehouse or other websites, okay? There are other websites out there that you can even buy specific models, but definitely furniture and plants, 3D warehouse, or the brand's website are the way to go to get free stuff, okay, for your projects. So fourth one is the rendering mode, okay? Not only in Lumion, that's what you're probably going to use the most, is the photo mode in terms of rendering. So you have you have sets of 10, okay? You can have all the different effects, like I talked in previous videos, and it's really quite complex, and then with lighting and georeference the model and all this amazing stuff that makes Lumion great. Not only that, but you have animation, okay, in Lumion, that you can animate your small videos or just part of your model, or you can even do a combination of animation with static images, okay? Or everything inside Lumion. You can add your logo, you can add effects, you can add subtitles or titles or whatever you want. Not only that, so you have all these different rendering modes and possibilities. Lumion has a 360 panorama possibility that you can render for VR 360, or just using My Lumion, do a link that you can choose. For example, if I can add different panorama images. I've talked in the previous video about this. And you can add panorama images, and people can play around and they see the 360 view of these points you've chosen for them, okay? So that's amazing. You can do that in VR or as a browser link. So the possibilities are quite amazing, and they keep updating, and you know it. So that's future proof. All the VR possibilities, maybe you're not using now, but if you have a big project, this is something you can really think about and investing time in that, okay? So just to have a notion, so if you're choosing from between doing panorama images or renderings, or from static images or animation is what's gonna take you longer to do it right now, okay? Panorama images like this, if you choose a few different panorama points, is more or less in the middle, and what's quicker to do, it's the images, okay? The static rendering images, and that all depends with the amount of effects you have in each model. So you know that all depends on your desktop as well, of course. So the final feature, and I think as working in Lumion for a long time, the final feature and one it makes it so useful in everyday use is that, especially using live sync as well, any changes I'm gonna make to so imagine you've done your SketchUp model, you've done your you've processed it all over Lumion. We're adding plants, adding vegetation, etc. But you want to make some changes after. The client changes his mind, maybe it changes his mind about some material. He doesn't want this pavement, he wants all grass, for example, okay? Like this. You see how quick that was? You know, using Live Sync inside Lumion, you can make changes like this, or even changes to the model, or to a hall, or to some pergola, any item. It's very quick, the changes. You want to change material, maybe you want everything in deck, quickly you can add that texture, and quickly all the images. So imagine that you've done 3 or 4 sets of images with the effects and with the lighting you want and with the perspective and all that. As soon as you change that, as soon as you do any change to your model, all the images were updated with the new changes, okay? So you don't have to worry in doing other sets of images. All the images were updated with the new changes. So you just quickly press the button to render and you render them in sets of 10, okay? So that's feature number 5, making changes really quickly and easy, and just having a quick set of new images rendered in no time, okay? So let's do it again. Number 1, ease of use, and it's fun. You know, you're playing around. It's like in a bit of a virtual reality mode, and I love it. It makes it work really fun. The only part that's more boring, if you don't like it, is the SketchUp part, but in Lumion it makes it really fun. So number 1, ease of use. Plant and texture libraries, number 2. Possibility of adding new models and materials is number 3, and it makes it your library like amazing, okay? And it records in your library, so a new project, a new model, and you have there all the things you want, okay? It's not just in that project. Rendering modes, all the possibilities of rendering, and make it future-proof with VR and 360 panoramas, and you can wow your clients with especially the panorama images, and it makes it a bit interactive. And your client can play around. That's pretty cool. And making changes, that's feature number 5. I hope you like it. I hope you see you soon. Don't forget to check out our not only our YouTube channel, but the blog post. I keep adding some tips and tricks and links to our videos, etc. And of course, our online course platform is Thinkific. It's an amazing platform to learn. And check out our courses. We're gonna keep adding new ones and update them. And SketchUp Basics for Garden Design is the next one that's going to be updated, so don't miss that out if you don't know SketchUp. This is useful for people that really don't know SketchUp, okay? It's just the basics, so, and you don't need more than that if you're working after with Lumion as well, okay? So yeah, check it out, and I hope to see you next. See ya.